Good morning, fellow manifestors. Welcome to another walk and talk with Joseph Manifesting. This morning I wanted to do something a little different to share where I started at. I feel like a lot of the time there can be an assumption that, hey, this person didn't have a 3D as bad as mine, or hey, this person is different than me, or whatever it is. And I just wanted to encourage, it's really the point of my channel, is to encourage you to live your best life, no matter what it is that you're currently experiencing, no matter what it is, you're in front of the 8 ball or behind the 8 ball, as Neville says, it really doesn't matter. Once you practice these things, once you use imagination fully, once you buy The Pearl of Great Price, by the way, check that out by Neville. It is, in my opinion, one of his best lectures. Your life can be whatever it is that you want it to be. And in fact, even more, I believe you were destined for it to be that way. So I was raised in a pretty high stress, high anxiety upbringing. There was a lot of violence, a lot of anxiety, a lot of problems. Fast forward about 10, my dad got diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia. He went off the deep end pretty quickly. For YouTube purposes, I am not going to go into super good detail. To be honest, I don't know what the guidelines are. I don't want to get in trouble, but at the same time, I do want to inspire you. So within a couple of weeks of him being diagnosed, he decided that my mom was not savable, according to him. And so he attempted to end her life in front of me and my brother at the time. And it was a very impactful experience. Fast forward about 3 years, my mom gets into another relationship with her fiance, and he would continuously physically and mentally abuse me and my brother. About 15 years old, I got into alcohol and different substances. I did that until I was about like 19. And then from that point, I got into opiates. I ended up doing heroin, coke, a bunch of different stuff to deal with all the emotional and internal pain that I had continuously. At this point, my thoughts attacked me all day long. I was continuously in a state of panic. I was depressed, suicidal. Life was unenjoyable. To me, I was in hell. I ended up getting sober at about the age of 22. I went to AA, and it was the first time I went internal to deal with all these different things that ended up happening. And it was really scary. It was scary to face all that stuff. It was scary to look at my belief systems. It was scary to look at all those thoughts that I ran from for a long time. But I finally did. And I kept doing different internal work. I kept researching meditation and Buddhism and law of attraction I started with. And little by little, I changed my I am. I would practice these things on and off for a little bit. Sometimes I would practice doing my inner work. Most of the time, I would spend reacting to my 3D and thinking it was the cause. Then I would remind myself who I am for a little bit longer, and then I would go back to reacting to the 3D and remembering who I am. And this this happened for a while until about 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I started practicing this primarily, and sometimes I'll go back to being a victim to my 3D. And within the last probably 2 years, I fully live from my internal world the vast majority of the time. The reason why I share all that is because I think about as much as the bottom of the barrel that you possibly can be. And now I live an enjoyable life. I'm a good father. I am happily married. I'm successful. I am helpful to others. I'm confident. I believe I'm attractive. All the things that are important to me, I now possess. And I started, I'm gonna pull up a Drake thing. I started from the bottom, now I'm here. So I want to encourage you, no matter where you're at, no matter where you're starting, if you practice these things, your life will get better. I promise you. You will find, as I found, you are the cause. There is no other. There is nothing besides your I am. And it takes persistence. It takes a decision that you are not going to be, or you're not going to think the way that you are anymore. And once that decision is made, your life will change. So I want to challenge you. If you're at that point where you're tired of thinking a certain way, or tired of feeling a certain way, or tired of having the same 3D experiences, make a decision that you're going to stick to the 7-day mental diet. That no matter what your 3D shows you, you are going to stay true to the vision. You are only going to think of how thoughts are good for you. You're only going to think of how life is lovingly rearranging itself for you. You are only going to think thoughts that are in line with your vision that you set in the 7-day mental diet. And I promise you, if you commit to this, it just takes 1 week. Everything will shift for the better. Your life will be drastically better. I hope this video helped. I hope it inspired you. That's really the point of why I do what I do, is I want people to experience the life I experience. My dad last year ended up choosing to leave this earth. And my mom had depression, borderline personality disorder, and some other mental illnesses. So that's why I'm so big on choosing thoughts. That's why I'm so big on taking control of your life. To me, that's what ends up happening if I am not controlling my thinking, if I am not directing my thinking, if I am not doing the internal work, if I am not living by imagination. A bunch of undesirable things manifest into a person's life. And it doesn't have to be that way. It's a simple yet hard decision to decide that you are X, Y, and Z going forward. And that's the way that it is. Take care, guys.